People died in the planes, right? And yep, 3,500 people died that day, you know, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's the thing, the shocking, incredible thing about that day is very many of those people were not real. Were not real people. They simulated these victims. They simulated victims. Now it's so, you think, oh, come on, get off the grass, all right?
So I thought they'd left only Asians and Chinese in the building.
No, they made up huge numbers of people. Huge numbers of people are actually completely computer composite made out of other people, made up names, made up biographies. Yeah, and it's taken 10 years for people to actually get around to that point, because it took 10 years for people to even suspect that was the thing.
Yeah, no, a lot of people didn't suspected it, would
and
they?
Finally, you know, they had the hole, they had the buildings falling down. It took 10 years for them to start looking at the people one by one and going, okay, let's pick this victim here, let's pick this person. All right, let's have a look at them. Let's use the internet to investigate their life.
Annoying.
It just falls apart. It's a completely fictional story.
If you start and make a complaint about you, I take you straight
I know that even now, the sense
of your brain is
I
will take you straight home.
This is
you pay
rubbish.
90 now, girls, and we go home.
What he's saying is rubbish. He's mistaken. He's stumbled on.
So there's your choice, Fabian. What are you going to do?
Rubbish, or he's like.
Ivor, no more, Ivor.
What do you mean just on the internet?
Yeah,
What, you want to see it in the newspaper?
Ivor, no.
Well, let me show you the Age from today. That's the Melbourne Age. This is a reputable, top of the line newspaper. Let's show you today's copy. Right, here it is. Here it is. I've looked at it on the internet today, but this is the print copy. It's got a big September 11th special, 10 years. Oh, great, let's flip to that. Page 15, here it is. We've got 30 articles on it. Great, this is fantastic. Yeah, here's the people that died and all the memories. Here's an interesting article about the conspiracies of that day, the conspiracy theories of that day. This is in the Age News. Let's have a look at this article on the conspiracy theories of today. Here it is. It's telling you, here are the conspiracy theories that people were talking about. This one, and here's why that one's false, and this one, and here's why that one's false. And they give you 5, and there it is. You can go back to sleep now. This is an absolute travesty. An absolute travesty.
Yeah, but they've been playing us for ages.
They've been playing us for fools, and if you want to stick to the print media now,
the rules that they're making, the laws that they're making are ridiculous at the moment.
That's
it's gone really silly. You're
it's 10 years later. It's 10 years later.
I love filming everything that's quirky.
It's 10 years later. It's 10 years later, and the thing is that the lid has now come off. Now, what's happened is the lid has come off in the last 12 months behind the scenes on certain internet forums. The lid has utterly come off now.
Okay.
Right, I've followed this for 10 years, and I'm telling you, it's taken to the last year for the lid to come off. And the extent to be able to grapple with the fact that the whole thing was like a theatrical presentation, literally, to the extent that the World Trade Center from the beginning was set up this way, to be hollow. I know that sounds unbelievable.
Dude, I saw it, and they showed you these bombs coming down and that.
That's right. That's what Liz was just telling us about. That you could see the actual squibs for the demolition as the thing went.
It came down like a demolition, but
straight into its own footprint, and not only the 2 World Trade Centers, but Building 7, the one that wasn't even hit by the plane, which fell down at 5 o'clock in the afternoon into its own footprint.
Don't look at me like
I'm just filming everything.
But I will say though, that honest to God,
You've been telling us all afternoon.
Do you know what they had a block of flats in? They had a block of flats in East London.
I don't want to get involved in either side of it. Actually.
No, there's a block of flats in Roman Road had a gas explosion, and that came down like a pack of cards.
It basically means that, you know, the whole American government is completely and utterly corrupt. But it has always been. You don't care. You don't
trust Americans are sick anyways, aren't they?
It's all government. It's not just the American.
When I was here, when it happened, I was here. I went up in a balloon in the morning.
On that day,
I went up in a balloon with these two girls that stayed with me.
Are you making this material up, Nick, or is this unbelievable?
I went up in a balloon, came down, I went in the bar, it was 9:30, you have to go up in the balloon at 6 September, you know what.
Yep.
And you have to go in the...
This would have been Natalie's husband, Dave.
You had to go up in
Natalie's
the
husband,
balloon.
Dave.
Dave, the balloon man.
Yep, that's it.
Anyways, we go in the bar, and I got these 2 girls, and I'm all showing up because I've got these 2 girls, and I'm going up the bar. Yep. And they're at the bar, and they're watching this thing. I thought they were watching an American film, American crap film.
Al Pacino.
They went, shush, mate, look, what's happening? I went, what? So I went, oh, there's been a tower. Then I was watching it on telly and everything. And I said then at the time, I said, there's only one type of people can sort that problem out, steel erectors.
Steel erectors?
To take it down.
People who demolish.
To demolish it. They're the only type of people that could do it. There's nobody else, you know.
So you reckon it's a conspiracy of steel erectors?
No, yeah, could have been. It could have been.
Is that what you're saying?
Could be. That's a good foot.
I love it.
They took the building down.
Yeah, exactly. Now they've got to lift. They've got to build another one.
They put it up again. They're on the site there now. I'd earn a fortune if I was there. They're building it now 24 hours a day.
And I bet they're all Italian.
And it's called the Freedom
No,
Jewish.
No, they're all American.
New York, they're Jewish.
No, all the steel erectors are like own a lot of properties and things.
You mean people might have one of them?
See, they get good money.
The whole thing was a scam.
You want a drink?
I know you can't have
that.
I didn't get good money steel erecting in England.
Even the firemen, you know, who were supposedly the heroes of 911. Oh, the firemen.
Wait.
When you look at the list of the firemen that died on that day, there's some things that are very, very wrong with that list. 1/3 of the firemen that died that day were ranking firemen, chief or above. Now, when you think about it, there's no way that 1/3 of the firemen that died that day were chiefs or above. The guys that died, if guys that died, were the frontline guys who went into the buildings and collapsed at that time. The idea that 1/3, like 300 firemen died, 100 of those were chief and above. It was all the top management of the firemen of New York all died.
This
is what happens, folks. Let's cut through all the crap.
Because they set up an office in
Let me cut through all the crap for you here. They took the payout. They took the payout and disappeared and are living in the Caribbean 10 years later, right? The whole thing is a scam.
I'm not surprised anything
from the top to the bottom. The firemen were in on it. The World Trade Center was in on it. The government was in on it. The whole thing is disgusting. And this is my little rave 10 years later. Thanks for coming. Love your work.
They must be really miserable.
There's lots of people.
This is his thing, isn't it? Well, one of them.